Imagine being given 10 mathematical problems so advanced, so cutting edge, that only a handful of experts on the entire planet even understand what they're asking. These aren't textbook puzzles. These aren't competition challenges. These are frontier research questions where no known solution exists, the kind that have stumped brilliant human minds for decades. Now, picture an AI system working through them completely on its own. No human guidance, no hints. Hours later, it returns with something extraordinary, perfect solutions to 6 of those 10 problems. But here's the part that changes everything. For the 4 problems it couldn't solve, it didn't fake it. It didn't generate some plausible-sounding nonsense. It simply said, "I cannot find a valid solution." That moment, that's when we witnessed the end of the hallucination bluff that has plagued AI systems for years. And that AI system is Google DeepMind's Aletheia. Welcome to Mindcast, the podcast where we unpack the ideas reshaping our world. I'm your host, Will, and today we're diving deep into what might be the most significant breakthrough in AI reasoning that you've probably never heard of. Now, if you follow the brilliant Dr. Carolee Shulnai-Fayer over at 2-Minute Papers, and if you don't, you absolutely should, you might have caught his analysis titled "The 100 Times AI Breakthrough No One is Talking About." While everyone else was obsessing over benchmark scores and chatbot capabilities, he correctly identified the real revolution, a massive shift from pre-training compute to what researchers call inference-time thinking. This isn't just a technical upgrade, folks. This is the moment we transition from AI systems that predict text to AI systems that genuinely reason. Over the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you how we just witnessed the end of what I call the manual era in mathematical research, and why Aletheia's tripartite architecture represents nothing short of System 2 thinking replicated in silicon. Let's start with the architectural revolution, because this is where everything changes. For years, large language models have suffered from what I call the monotonic generation problem. Think about it. These systems are trained to generate text in one smooth, continuous flow. They're biased toward flawless continuation, which sounds great until you realize that in complex reasoning tasks, this creates a catastrophic failure mode. One early mistake, one falsified assumption, propagates downstream and invalidates the entire chain of reasoning. It's like building a house on a cracked foundation. Everything that follows becomes structurally unsound. The model keeps going, keeps generating plausible-sounding text, even when it's completely wrong. Aletheia solves this through what researchers call the agentic harness, a tripartite system that mimics how human experts actually think. Picture 3 specialized agents locked in continuous, relentless internal debate. First, there's the generator, the creative engine that aggressively proposes candidate solutions, exploring multiple parallel reasoning paths simultaneously. It's powered by Gemini 3 Deep Think, and it's designed to be bold, speculative, even a little reckless in its hypotheses. The generator doesn't worry about being wrong. That's not its job. Then comes the real innovation, the natural language verifier. This is the skeptic in the room, and its job is to tear apart everything the generator proposes. Unlike previous theorem provers that worked in formal languages like Lean 4, this verifier operates entirely in natural language, actively hunting for logical inconsistencies, structural flaws, and, here's the key, hallucinations. The architecture explicitly separates the verifier from the final output, preventing what researchers call supporting context hallucinations, where an extended reasoning trace artificially inflates confidence in a wrong answer. The verifier is like having a brilliant mathematician whose only job is to find holes in your proof. Finally, there's the revisor, the diplomatic mediator. When the verifier identifies minor issues that aren't fatal to the overall strategy, the revisor steps in to patch the logic, correct arithmetic, adjust assumptions. But if the verifier deems the solution fundamentally flawed, the entire state resets, and the generator starts over with a completely new approach. This isn't just error correction. This is the computational equivalent of crumpling up a draft and starting fresh. It's iterative reasoning at a scale and speed that humans simply can't match.
Now, here's where it gets really fascinating. The 100x shift that 2-minute papers highlighted. For the past decade, AI progress has been driven by pre-training scaling laws, exponentially larger datasets, massive GPU clusters, all for marginal capability gains. But DeepMind discovered something remarkable, a 100 times reduction in inference compute requirements for baseline tasks. This efficiency breakthrough enabled a completely new scaling law, inference time scaling. Instead of front-loading all computational effort into training, they reallocated massive computational budgets to the moment the model is actually solving a problem. They gave the AI vastly more thinking time. And the results? As inference time compute scales, reasoning quality rises proportionally. This is System 2 thinking, slow, deliberate, iterative, replicated in silicon. The AI can now spend minutes or even hours working through a single problem, just like a human mathematician would.
This brings us to our second key insight, the trust gap solution. Let me ask you this. Why haven't AI systems been trusted in precision-critical fields like mathematics, medicine, or aerospace engineering? The answer is epistemic honesty, or rather, the lack of it. Traditional language models, when faced with problems they can't solve, don't admit ignorance. They hallucinate. They generate plausible-sounding but fundamentally incorrect responses. In professional research, this isn't just annoying, it's catastrophic. Imagine spending weeks verifying a deeply flawed, highly complex AI-generated proof. The human capital wasted is enormous. Aletheia's natural language verifier changes this equation entirely. It acts as what I call a rigid epistemic gatekeeper. When the system encountered those 4 unsolvable problems in the first proof challenge, it didn't bluff. It explicitly reported, "No valid solution found." This restraint, this computational humility, proves definitively that we can build AI systems with genuine epistemic honesty. The verifier successfully prevents hallucination while dramatically improving utility, safety, and efficiency as a trusted research tool. Think about the implications. We're no longer dealing with pattern-matching systems that sound confident but might be completely wrong. We're dealing with systems that know what they don't know. This epistemic honesty is powered by something called verifier-guided distillation, a training breakthrough that's worth understanding. Historically, AI systems were trained only on perfect reasoning traces, the clean, final answers. But Aletheia was trained on something far more valuable, verified reasoning traces that explicitly document the process of error repair. These traces include mistakes, conflict detection, backtracking, self-corrections. By learning from these imperfect pathways, the system develops what researchers call latent verification behaviors, the ability to autonomously pause, detect contradictions, and revise assumptions without human prompting. It's like the difference between memorizing the answer key and actually learning how to think through problems. The system learned to be wrong gracefully, and more importantly, to recognize when it's wrong. Our third key insight takes us from tool to collaborator. And this is where the story gets genuinely revolutionary. Aletheia hasn't just solved individual problems, it's redefined the relationship between human intelligence and artificial intelligence in research. Consider the Feng 26 paper, a complete mathematical research paper generated entirely autonomously by the AI. No human intervention, no strategic steering. The system successfully calculated specific structure constants in arithmetic geometry, applied advanced techniques from algebraic combinatorics, and permanently resolved several previously open questions. This isn't incremental improvement. This is level 4 autonomy in mathematical research. The AI didn't just answer questions, it wrote the entire scientific paper from scratch. But perhaps even more intriguing is the Lee CO26 paper, which showcases a new paradigm for human-AI collaboration. In this research on mathematical bounds for independent sets, something remarkable happened. The traditional roles inverted. The AI provided the high-level strategic vision, suggesting the novel application of dual sets and log convexity principles. The human researchers then executed the granular technical details to finalize the formal proof. Think about this for a moment. The machine is providing creative, strategic insight, while humans provide rigorous manual execution. This isn't augmentation. This is genuine collaboration between two forms of intelligence. The AI became the architect, while humans became the construction crew. The scale of impact becomes clear when we look at the Erdos conjecture evaluation. Paul Erdos posed thousands of complex open problems during his lifetime, many stumping researchers for decades. Aletheia autonomously solved 4 historically open questions from a database of 700. But here's the cascading effect. The AI's solution to Erdos 1051 was so conceptually robust that it directly catalyzed broader mathematical generalization by human teams, resulting in the subsequent BKKZ26 paper. The AI's autonomous proof became a foundational stepping stone that opened an entirely new theoretical avenue for human researchers. This is the compounding value of AI as an ongoing discovery engine. It's not just solving problems, it's creating new paths for human exploration. To address the transparency challenges this creates, researchers have proposed the Autonomous Mathematics Research Levels, a taxonomy ranging from level 0 to level 4, modeled after self-driving car autonomy levels. Level 0 is basic computational execution. Level 1 involves synthesizing literature using known techniques. Level 2 generates useful intermediate propositions. Level 3 provides high-level collaborative strategy while relying on human execution. That's where Lee CO26 fits. Level 4 is fully autonomous end-to-end resolution of novel problems resulting in publishable discoveries. That's Fang 26 and the Erdos solutions. Aletheia operates across all these levels, but its most impressive achievements happen at level 4, where it's functioning as an independent researcher. So what does this all mean? Let me give you 3 concrete takeaways that will reshape how we think about science, education, and society. First, we're witnessing a paradigm shift from pattern recognition to logical reasoning. We're transitioning from AI systems that excel at statistical prediction to systems capable of multi-step deductive reasoning. This isn't just a technical upgrade, it's a cognitive revolution. We now have artificial systems that can engage with the absolute frontier of human knowledge and push beyond it. The implications extend far beyond mathematics to any field requiring rigorous logical thinking. Second, we're seeing the democratization of advanced research capabilities. The methodologies that Aletheia uses to conquer pure mathematics today are laying the structural groundwork to decode physics, biological modeling, and material science tomorrow. We're not just talking about automation, we're talking about acceleration. Research cycles that once took years could potentially be compressed into weeks or months. The rate of scientific discovery is about to change dramatically. Small research teams will have access to computational reasoning power that was previously the exclusive domain of elite institutions. Third, we're witnessing the evolution of human-computer interaction into genuine intellectual partnership. The role inversion we saw in Lee CO26, where AI provides strategic direction and humans execute technical details, suggests we need to fundamentally rethink education, research methodologies, and professional development. The question isn't whether AI will replace human researchers, it's how human researchers will evolve to work symbiotically with AI collaborators. We're moving toward a world where the most valuable skill might be knowing how to think strategically alongside artificial intelligence. But we also need to acknowledge the safety considerations. Systems with autonomous reasoning capabilities introduce novel risks. DeepMind's safety evaluations revealed concerning capabilities in cybersecurity and CBRN domains, chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear risks. While critical capability levels weren't reached, the trajectory is clear. As these systems become more powerful, robust safety frameworks become absolutely essential. The human-AI interaction cards that DeepMind has proposed aren't just academic exercises, they're necessary transparency tools for maintaining scientific integrity in an era of AI-assisted research. We need to know exactly how AI contributed to any scientific claim.
Here's what I find most remarkable about this entire story. We're not just witnessing incremental progress in AI capabilities, we're watching the emergence of artificial general intelligence through the lens of mathematical reasoning. Aletheia solved 6 frontier research problems that stumped human experts, but more importantly, it admitted failure on the 4 it couldn't solve. That combination of capability and epistemic honesty represents a qualitative leap toward AI systems we can actually trust with humanity's most important challenges. It's not just about being smart, it's about being truthful about the limits of that intelligence.
The manual era of mathematical research, where every proof, every conjecture, every breakthrough required pure human cognition, may indeed be approaching its end. But what's emerging isn't replacement, it's collaboration. We're entering an age where human intuition, creativity, and strategic thinking will work hand in hand with AI systems capable of executing complex logical reasoning at superhuman scale and speed. The implications extend far beyond mathematics. Every field that requires rigorous reasoning, complex problem-solving, and the synthesis of vast knowledge bases is about to be transformed. We're not losing human agency in research, we're amplifying human capability in ways we're only beginning to understand. That's our deep dive into Google DeepMind's Aletheia and the end of the manual era in mathematical research. If you want to explore this further, I'll have links in the show notes to the technical papers, including the remarkable FANG 26 autonomous publication and the first proof challenge results. You can also check out DeepMind's open source repository, where they've made Aletheia's reasoning traces available for independent verification, a transparency move that sets the standard for AI research. And if you want to experiment with the underlying technology, the Deep Think mode is available through Google AI Ultra subscriptions. If this episode opened your eyes to the profound changes happening in AI reasoning, please subscribe to Mindcast and share this with anyone who's trying to understand where artificial intelligence is really heading. Next week, we'll be exploring how these same reasoning capabilities are being applied to protein folding and drug discovery, another frontier where AI is moving from pattern recognition to genuine scientific reasoning. Until then, keep questioning, keep learning, and remember, we're not just observing the future of AI, we're living through its birth. I'm Will, and this has been Mindcast.